And so, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 59th International Conference of Horse Racing Authorities, supported by the Japan Racing Association. I hope many, if not all of you, enjoyed a great day at Paris-Longchamp yesterday, and that sets us up nicely for our conference today as we focus on betting, illegal and legal, as well as the marketing and customer experience and the key challenges facing our sport. So hopefully a fascinating day ahead. It is now time to ask the chair of the International Federation of Horse Racing Authorities and Chief Executive Officer of the Hong Kong Jockey Club, Winfried Engelbrecht-Bresges, to deliver his opening remarks.
Good morning, members, delegates, members of the press, and those who are watching online. Welcome to the 59th International Conference of Horse Racing Authorities. It's great to be back in Paris, which is one of the most beautiful cities in the world, especially when we have sunshine. And thank you, Guillaume, for fixing the weather for the Arc, which makes this even more precious event. But welcome to this new conference venue in Le Méridien Paris Arc de Triomphe. The International Conference has for many years provided a platform for all of us, who are the stewards of racing in the respective jurisdictions, to come together and discuss the key issues impacting our sport and to chart the course for its future. Racing's long-term success is dependent on our ability not only to address threats we face today, but moreover to embrace opportunities they present to us. I thank all of us for being here today, have the shared desire and vision to grow and improve our sports domestically and internationally. At the global racing conferences over the past few years, I've spoken extensively about the major challenges that our sport is facing. At the Melbourne Racing Conference, we explored 9 critical issues which threaten the sport's long-term sustainability: industry fragmentation, integrity, illegal and offshore betting operators, social acceptability, competition, an aging customer base, branding racing as a global sport, environmental sustainability, and challenges facing having the right human resources. It is these issues which underpin the Federation's key strategic objectives. Of these issues, integrity and social responsibility, especially as this relates to safeguarding equine welfare, were addressed in great detail over the past 2 conferences. The 9 major issues we further distilled during the 40th ARC in Sapporo, where we focus on what I believe are the 4 most pressing challenges confronting racing: long-term sustainability due to an aging customer base, growth of illegal and offshore betting operators, social acceptability, and last not least, industry fragmentation. We as a federation would provide a platform where we can connect and overcome these fragmentations which threatens the sustainability of our sport, where people don't see the wider vision and engage in battles which don't help to secure the future of the sport. Despite some progress we have made across our members' country, nothing I've seen over the past 12 months leads me to believe that these issues will not continue to present significant challenges for racing in the foreseeable future. In particular, racing struggles for relevance in many countries is increasingly exacerbated by an aging customer base, while growth of illegal and offshore betting markets and operators continues significantly to outstrip the growth of legal operators, and we're facing a more and more ever-tightening regulatory control. With this in mind, we thought it is a great opportunity this year to focus on how to improve the race-going experience with a view of rejuvenating our customer base, how we increase our fan base. This has to be coupled with an effective marketing to promote the sports and entertainment value propositions we have to offer. With changing consumer behaviors and evolving views on gambling, we also wanted to explore the current betting landscape across both legal and illegal markets. In delivering today's keynote, Glenn Clemenson, CEO of Square in the Air and a self-confessed racing tragic, he will definitely explain what racing tragic means. He will explore how racing can leverage off what is be done successfully by other major sports to attract and engage consumers through live experiences, marketing, content production, and innovative wagering products. At one level, it could be said that racing is seeing some breakthrough in areas which comes to elevated and providing exciting experiences, customer experience, and attracting new and younger customers. It's encouraging to see that in the last few months alone, we have seen some innovative customer engagement strategies in action across the Federation's membership. The two-day Horses in the City event took place in Paris in September at the Place de la Concorde and transformed it into a parade ring. Conceived by France Gallo as a way of bringing sports closer to the population and educating people about racing, the event attracted over 10,000 visitors on the first day alone. In July, Horse Racing Ireland launched its new marketing campaign titled Racing Runs in Us, which aimed to position the sport as an enduring thread with a fabric of Irish identity. Emphasizing that racing is part of Ireland's shared heritage and lived experience, HRI determined to increase engagement with racing's younger adult population by 45% and increase race attendance by 10%. At the opening of the 2025-26 season, the Hong Kong Jockey Club launched an experience-changing racecourse revival and customer experience at Charting. Visitors now arrive through an immersive digital environment inspired by horse and nature, a new 4-story digital racing hub that provides digital horse racing experience in an interactive dining and entertainment environment. Coupled with the partnership of XRX, one of the leading entertainment groups to position horse racing as sport entertainment, these upgrades has transformed at least part of our race course from a focused on gambling experiences to a vibrant destination for live sport and entertainment. I highly recommend you join us in December, second week in December, to experience this live. So apologies for this little advertising, but we want to share and we want to learn, and it is for us a platform where we can together explore what we can do together to bring our sport forward. We see in developing racing countries positive development too, especially if you look at the digital off-course engagement. The YouTube live streams of this year's Indonesian Derby drew 270,000 visitors, up 220% on 2024. This coincided directly with the global launch of the English version of the very famous Japanese game Pretty Derby, which has been a huge hit not only in Japan, but in Indonesia too. While these are good starts, there are tactical solutions which are not sufficient to address the fundamental need to widen our customer base. In this regard, I believe we have to take a much more strategic approach, a holistic understanding of our potential new customer segments starts with a deep approach to understand their psychographics, their entertainment needs, their preferences, to help to categorize prospective customer groups and to determine the product that attracts them to racing. And they're trendsetters, thrill seekers, risk takers, and you can categorize and personify them, but one has to have a very good understanding what the value proposition is. And this is why we have in the club gone through a major exercise to have a very clear new segmentation strategy which helps us to create and market value propositions we can offer to them that really appeal to them. Increasingly, this means creating experiences that are centered around high-quality sport and entertainment and not wagering propositions. Our finding is people who have a wagering propensity will find to the sport. But if you advocate wagering as first as your brand, you will not be able to attract these younger segments who have a different preference. And this is definitely for the industry a significant change of focus. So to achieve this, we must develop strategies that promote, first, a revamped product suite to attract prospective customers with an extension to entertainment racing offerings, to entertainment racing as a sport and entertainment offerings to grow the racing fan base. Secondly, integrated online and offline experiences across the racecourse, the digital and wagering channels to be online, offline as a holistic proposal. Innovative marketing strategies and financial investment based on very specific segments need. Last not least, data and analytical frameworks for tracking and reporting which enable our segment planning and performance assessment. This is more and more a data-driven environment in which we operate, and data have tremendous value. And if we as sport not grab this opportunity to control our data, we will not have the opportunity to grow our sport significantly and strategically. Only such a strategic approach will be able to gain a really deeper understanding of our customer and especially prospective customer base and identify where the gaps lie in our product offerings to best determine how we can develop new products and create interesting experiences. And last not least, really focus where our investment has to be to create this kind of experiences. In the session on this morning, our panel from the leading racing authorities, race clubs, wagering operators, and broadcasters will take this discussion further and highlighting what is being done globally to attract new and younger fans, enhance the customer experience, and better compete with other sports. This dialogue will dovetail perfectly into some of the key issues that will be transferred at the next Asian Racing Conference in Saudi Arabia, which is now only 4 months away. Heading to what is fast becoming the AI capital of the world, we will lean into the role of AI and machine learning in shaping the customer journey and applications of digital technology to redefine the racecourse experience. We will also explore how immersive on-course events activations are elevating the racegoer experience, as well as innovations that are shaping how audiences engage with racing content in an evolving broadcasting landscape. I would like to turn now to the fight against illegal and anti-gambling operators and tackling the challenges we see in betting regulations, which we will discuss in 2 sessions. If you look at the illegal betting market, which is not restricted by any limitation as to product offerings, advertising, taxation, credit pricing, nor pricing, it's growing at a rate far greater than the legal market. Combined with cryptocurrencies, the access to payment systems circumventing completely banking systems control has fueled the growth and is an anabolic steroid for illegal betting. In 2022, the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime estimated that illegal betting involves as much as 1.7 trillion US dollars in turnover. The US estimates that illegal online gaming exceeds now more than 400 billion annually alone in this country. Unfortunately, many politicians, regulators, and law enforcement agencies lack a real good understanding of this very complex landscape and behavioral economics. This leads to over-regulation of legal markets, stifling the regulated operators from channeling gaming demand in a responsible way, and to fund investment dearly needed to benefit the racing and breeding ecosystem, which generates significant economic value. The over-regulation is really a driver to the legal operators which offer better prices, and with further heightening the integrity risk faced by racing in the form of race fixing, insider information, market manipulation, money laundering, some people would say it's a perfect storm. The current situation in Britain is clearly a case in point, and one which will be covered in great detail later. With tighter regulation controls on betting in recent years, including the introduction of affordability checks, illegal betting in UK racing is flourishing. How does this happen? Firstly, racing betting is highly sensitive to effective price increases through regulatory frictions. Affordability checks function as a behavioral tax which fundamentally alter consumer behavior because the psychological cost of compliance exceeds the utility derived from betting with a highly regulated operator, and one has easily accessible alternative via unregulated operators outside. The grey and black market behavior response is agile and fast. Data indicates that 40% of the UK bettors would consider utilizing now unlicensed operators with enhanced affordability checks now in place. This presents a classic behavioral economic substitution effect where regulatory frictions drive demand to unregulated operators. The numbers tell the story. At a recent study by the Federation's Council of Anti-Illegal Betting and Related Crime found that between 2000 and 2024, the number of individual customers to some of the most popular unlicensed sites which take bets on British racing grew by 522%. 522%. In comparison, all total legal wagering turnover in UK for 2024 fell nearly 7% in 2023 and 16% compared to 2022. The UK is now facing, on top of this, the daunting prospect of its racing betting tax being increased to a rate that is harmonized with online casinos, which are completely different in nature and gaming and gambling harm risk. Such change would be devastating to the entire horse racing and breeding fraternity in UK and would demonstrate a massive regulatory failure to understand the underlying factors which have policies as basic designed to protect customers and paradoxically increasing harm by driving activities to unregulated markets where no protection exists. This is why the IGFA Council, which is widely recognized as a global thought leader in this space, plays such a vital role in seeking to further educate governance policymakers, regulators, and other stakeholders that illegal betting is a major threat of the well-being of people, the racing industry, and other sports, including their integrity. This afternoon, we will hear from members of the Council and the head of the anti-illegal match fixing at the UEFA. I was a little bit too much thinking about something else. The UEFA. And how the market UEFA tackles the growing challenge facing regulatory racing and the sports globally. While we have in racing one of the best regulated industry, if it comes self-regulated industry when it comes to integrity control, we have a lot of live monitoring of events. We have race meeting stewards at the meeting to address this. But I think it's important that we as sport and racing as a sport partner with the UEFA and other international sports organizations and operators to make a really clear statement. We as a sport stay for integrity of the sport, and that we as a wider community of sports operators see the significant risk of illegal gambling and the threat it is to our integrity. In closing, I would like to express the Federation's great appreciation to our friends from the Japan Racing Association for the significant support it continues to provide to stage conferences and related social events. We are most grateful, Goto-san, to the JRA, and thank you for your tremendous support. Last but not least, I want to thank you for your attention. I look forward to your active participation in today's discussion. I trust the 59th International Conference will be beneficial to you all and provide many valuable insights and, last but not least, networking opportunities. Welcome again and enjoy the conference, and hopefully I stay within time and budget. Thank you.